Good morning, and welcome to Dr. P, talking about Korean entertainment. Today, I want to talk about something that's a little puzzling and a little concerning. There's a foreign actor in Korean. His name is Sam. I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right. His name is Sam Okier. Anyway, he's an African who lives in South Korea. Obviously, he's black. And he's been there a while, been there like 13 years or so. But evidently he's been canceled. And the reason for canceling Sam Okieri, or whatever his name is, one of these days I'll figure out how to pronounce it, is because he called out racism in South Korea. There's a high school in Uijeongbu, which is north of Seoul. Now, Uijeongbu is known to have been the place that housed the 2nd Infantry Division of the U.S. Army. So it's not like they don't know anything about Americans and so forth. But before I go further, Sam is not American. He just happens to be a black man from Africa who's a foreign actor in South Korea. Well, I guess a year ago or so, maybe two, the Uijeongbu High School was graduating, and some of the seniors did a parody of something. What they did was they used blackface. Well, we all know over here in the West, you don't do blackface. It's considered racist, and I agree with that. Blackface was used a long time ago, maybe in the 20s and 30s, possibly even the 40s. Al Jolson, I think, was big in blackface. He's a big star back then, but we don't do that today. It's considered racist. And this Uijeongbu High School has to, with all the Americans that have come and gone through Uijeongbu, they have to know some of this stuff. Well, they did this blackface. And Sam Okyeri, or Yeri, Sam, we're just going to call him Sam. Sam got upset, and he called out the racism of the blackface. Now, the Koreans got extremely upset. They don't like being called racists. Nobody does. And they basically canceled him. And he has begged for forgiveness, and he wants to stay in Korea. I guess he makes good money, and he likes it there. That's fine. But the point is they canceled him over calling out their racism. And they said things like, the kids really didn't mean to be racist. They just didn't know. I'm not buying it. The whole world knows you don't do blackface if you're not black. And if you're black, you don't have to do blackface. But, if you're anything but a black person, you don't do blackface. You just don't. And they did. And, of course, they're saying, well, it's a homogeneous society. We don't know this. We don't do... No. I don't find that as an excuse. I have been in places. In fact, I will tell you, I've been to Namsan Tower with my wife when I lived over there. And I watched a U.S. Army soldier run by. He was running, training. And the Koreans around us looked at him and pointed and said, gorilla. Wow. I personally have gotten out of a taxi cab with my wife in the Gangnam section of Korea. Again, this is a long time ago, but in the Gangnam section of Seoul. And mommy and daddy and little children are standing there watching us get out of the cab, and the little boy points at me and says, monkey. Well, I didn't take too much offense to it, but you can see where I'm going with this. There definitely is racism in Korea. There definitely is racism in America. It's everywhere. People can be racist. It doesn't mean we condemn the entire society. I would certainly never condemn every Korean in Korea or out of Korea. But all Sam did was point out that the racism exists, and he tried to educate. And for his efforts, they canceled him. And now he's begging to stay. I think he should take his money. He's made a lot. His net worth, publicly anyway, is about $5 million. He should take his wealth and go back to Ghana and live comfortably. And don't beg the Koreans to stay in a country where they don't want you. I do think they were wrong. I do think racism exists there. And I do know they don't like being called out for it. I'll give you another example. I won't do it because I don't want it to be seen doing it. But there's a thing people do that's racist toward Asians with their eyes and their fingers. You know, you put your fingers up and you pull back. And you tighten up your eyes. And it kind of gives you the, I don't know. I'm not even going to say the word, but you know what I mean. Well, if we do that, we're called out for it. We're called racists. Miley Cyrus, big superstar, did that once on her friend's birthday. Her friend was Asian. Everybody else wasn't. He was in the middle of the photo. They all did that, even the Asian. She was immediately, I was in a Korean church, and they saw the pictures, and they said, oh, that racist, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I get it. But you know what? When Asians do the opposite of that with the fingers, they use two fingers toward their eyes to widen their eyes. Is that not racist? If you call them out for that, they get upset. You see, racism goes both ways. Racism shouldn't be tolerated in any society, in any culture. And that's my take on that. I think they canceled Sam wrongly, but I also don't think Sam should sit there and beg to stay. He should basically go home, take his wealth, and leave. He made a bunch. He has more money than I'll ever have. And that's my take on that. Talk to you later.